My full name is William Henry Hudson Duke, but my real name, my name is Bill Duke. Through the grace of God, found my passion and didn't want to do anything other than what I felt and wanted to do, because I had seen so many other members of my family who left there once they had kids and stuff and had a house note. Their dreams were put to the side, and I wanted to do something else. It's a long story. I'll try to make it as short as I can, but I was supposed to be a doctor. That didn't work. I was supposed to be an English teacher. That didn't work. And I found a mentor named Lloyd Richards at Boston University, and he really guided me through, and I followed him to New York University, gave me my first job at the Negro Ensemble Company, and I followed him out to Hollywood, and basically his assistant, and he said you should stay. I stayed, and got some work eventually, and then, you know, had some success as an actor, and was doing a series called Palmerstown, USA with Norman Lear, and Alex Haley was the writer and Norman Lear was the producer. And, you know, I thought I made it. You know, I was making money and everything, and it was on for two seasons, I think it was. And then after that, I didn't work for 2 years. Couldn't find a job. And I always wanted to direct, but I directed theater, but I was intimidated by the equipment, the camera and stuff, and so I took a chance, went to the American Film Institute, and I graduated from, dropped to the business for 2 years, got out of there with a film called The Hero, and won some awards. But I couldn't get a job as a studio or a network. They said, I'll give you the second film, not the first, because I was a newbie. And then I went away. I was depressed. I do transcendental meditation. And I went on a meditation retreat to just get my system clear, and then my agent called me while I was on a retreat. He said, David Jacobs of Knots Landing wants you to come and interview with him. I said, what? He said, come back, right back. So I drove all the way back from Northern California, drove back, and that Monday I was in David Jacobs' office. We talked, and my agent called me later that day and said, you got the job. I called everybody I knew, celebrated, people I didn't know. I just said, I'm directing in Knots Landing. I was on Knots Landing for like a week in prep. The last day of prep, Joe Wallenstein comes to my office, the producer, and says, you know, you did a great job prepping, Bill. We can tell from your reel, from your director's reel. I said, what director's reel? He said, well, the one that you. I said, no, I just got an AFI. He says, wait a minute. Go to the David Jacobs office. David Jacobs, the producer, had mixed my box up with somebody else's. That's how I got my first television job.
What a fabulous story.
It's true. Well, Dark Girls is a passion project for me and my producing partner, Chamberi. What we went through as young men, from being dark complected, we didn't go to our senior proms and stuff. We weren't considered, you know, I mean, in those days, if you were light-skinned and had, you know, greener eyes or something, you were considered handsome, you know. But in those days, that wasn't the case. And seeing what my sister went through, seeing what young girls are going through right now, we wanted to give a voice to the voiceless. And it was the kind of situation where, you know, we did a lot of research over 2 years. I mean, psychological, sociological, historical, quantum physics, literally, and media points of view. We really wanted to speak about it, not just from feelings, but from research. And we found a lot of interesting things. One, skin bleach, for example, is one of the #1 selling cosmetics around the world globally, a multi-billion-dollar business. Women in Africa have half their faces pink and other side black because bootleg skin bleach creamers, companies with acid in it, irresponsibly are selling these products, and they're suffering from it. In India, for example, if you want to be wed and you're a male, we found that skin bleach cream amongst Indian men is big, because if you have darker skin, you're considered a field worker. If you have lighter skin, you haven't gotten in the sun and you work in the office. So they put skin bleach to appear lighter, so women will be more attracted to them. And the irony is, as black women and minority women are getting, you know, long hair and blonde hair and getting extensions and lightening their skin and, doing all kinds of things to look more Western. White females, we did research, and we have a piece in the film, are going to tanning salons to get their skins darker, Botoxing their lips, getting butt lifts, and getting crinkly hair because they want to look more ethnic. And so we asked one lady who had done that, white female, she said, because we look prettier. So it's a matter to a certain extent of race, but it's also a matter of self-esteem. Somehow what we're saying is that God makes mistakes. God does not make mistakes. How we are born, it's fine. I mean, if you're deformed, if you have a heart defect, take care of that. But if you're born with good health, how you look is God painted that sculpture. It's not a mistake. But you're told by some, business entity that to be beautiful, you have to look like this. And so you buy the cosmetics, you buy the hair products, you buy the clothing to make you look like that. And I don't know if it makes you any happier, but I think all women are dark girls. Because black or white or Asian, you're told that you're not good enough if you don't look this way. No matter what anybody says to you, let them know that God does not make mistakes. You were born this way. You were created by the great creator of life. And no matter what anybody says about how you look. A preacher, Chip Murray, is a great pastor of AME Church. He has this saying. He says, you know something? God bless you, but your opinion of me is your business. Has nothing to do with me. That's your business. And you keep that to yourself. You go home and play with your kids, that's your business. As long as you have an understanding of your worth as a human being, you're going to be attacked and everything else. Listen, it's nothing to do with you unless you make it to do with you. And these girls have to understand, and the parents have to reinforce their beauty. Because many times the playground does not. The playground can be a very cruel place. Because we were in D.C. Screening the film a year ago, and we were at the Lynx, and a young lady told us, she said, she was dark complected, and she said, I'm so glad you're making this film. Because my daughter came home 2 weeks ago, and she's dark complected. And she was weeping. And she says, Mommy, I want to be lighter. And she said, why? Because they called her tar baby, ugly, and gorilla face. She's like, 11 years old. And so the parents need to reinforce it. And the movie's not enough. This movie's about movement, The schools, media has to really address this issue because our kids are hurting. And we just screened it. He was there at a school. You remember the two young black girls at the school? Two dark-skinned young ladies. The screening, the lights came up. They were crying. I said, "Why are you crying?" Because we didn't get invited to our senior prom because they told us we were too ugly. See, that should not be happening. And so what I'm saying is that it's our generational responsibility to try to give these beautiful young girls an understanding of their beauty and their validity. And the parents have to do it. Grown-ups have to do it. We have to do it. We have to all do it because they're in pain. And giving a voice to the voiceless. And that's what we're trying to do with this film.